producer Lyle Yacob, and from the cast, Leo Robbs, Tova Felcher, Havana Rose Lee, Leo Woodall, and Mr. Dustin Hoffman. Amazing. And that movie hit just like I thought it was going to hit. Amazing. And I was just picking up on something, we'll go to questions from the audience shortly too, but first a few questions from me, and starting with Daniel about what you said during the intro about making a movie. And this feels very much like a movie. Was that always your intention, your hope, to do something that was, that moved like this and was just so entertaining and just had this kind of crackling energy, which is something that I just don't think we get very much from the movies anymore?
Well, I really appreciate the question. My favorite review I read, I might have mentioned this in the intro, someone wrote, "Oh, this movie's really hard." And I was like, that's right, that was the intention. I like to think that films are a reflection of the filmmakers. Filmmakers put themselves in their films, so it'll be a surprise to no one that I have ADHD. And I like things to move at a clip, and I wanted something that harkened back to some of my favorite films that had a real pulse and energy behind them, with a kinetic energy, something that's editorial, that just has that fast, snappy cadence, which is really important to me.
Definitely, and certainly, it's always, I'm sure it's a word that sort of shows up in writing about the movie already, is it's jazzy. It's jazzy in the sense that it sort of crackles and moves and has that sort of musicality. And I guess also just wanted to hear about, like, was that an early idea or an early ambition to have a film where like sound and music were really so fundamental to the experience?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, from the conception to the editing. Greg, are you here? Greg O'Brien's the editor of the film. There he is. Okay, here's the next one, Greg. Greg, stand up. Keep up this movie. This is like an editor's movie, okay? So if you're like a costume designer, you get a screenplay for like a costume drama, like that's your thing. But if you're the sound designer and the editor, like this is your movie. I always wanted to do something musical and jazzy. I think, of course, film and music are like peas and carrots, they go together. And when you have an amazing needle drop in your movie, it's like a cameo from like a celebrity. It's like, oh, there's that song I love that immediately evokes feeling for me. And so I really tried to infuse the film with as much music as possible. Will Bates, who's also here, wrote the music, the original score for it. So the music was from the first day very important to us.
And kudos on the Herbie Hancock cameo. That was
Thank you.
a great pleasure that was. And certainly, really was the first day? Oh my gosh. And how was he happy to be there?
He was. It just so happened he was playing a concert in Toronto the night before. And so the pitch was just stay an extra day and be in our movie, and he did it. He was wonderful.
It's amazing. And yeah, I'd love to hear some of the experience of the cast, starting with Leo and Havana. But I mean, really, the sound and music are fundamental to these characters, certainly. And I just guess starting off with those were sort of kind of keys to your performance, sort of thinking about how they hear the world really was a way in for them. Maybe starting with Havana.
Oh, I mean, the piano was such an active part of who Ruthie was, and I think she sort of built her whole identity around it. And so the editing of the sound also just contributes so much to the performance. I felt like I had to do half the work in doing so. But yeah, I think this movie, the heart of it is in sound and is in music, and I think that's what we found in our characters a lot, is an appreciation for that. So the fact that it comes through is so nice.
Yeah, and seeing to Leo about what was it like sort of going through this to have that to have that acuteness, to really be so sensitive and to sort of make that very a plausible and very authentic part of the character.
I mean, a lot of it was I had to kind of become a lot more aware of what makes noise, which is kind of stressful, but it you know, even now I see bits in the mirror, I'm like, that's loud. I didn't realize. And it's like, but it's such a kind of crippling condition. And, you know, Daniel and I had endless conversations on set, off set, you know, what the quality of it would be if you kind of hear a weird jaw thing, then it kind of blocks your eardrums a little bit, and that we kind of tried to incorporate that. And yeah, I think a lot of that though goes down to the sound design. You know, they did most of the work for me.
I'm curious, and sometimes actors use music as a means of kind of staying in character, sort of enhancing character performance. Was there a lot of music for you, as you were making the movie?
Yeah, I mean, there was always a piano around. But I'm not quite as good as Nikki, or even Havana. But I would just bore everyone to death with my rendition of Interstellar. And occasionally like a La La Land tune. Yeah. But it was lovely. I mean, it's a wonderful instrument. It's very soothing, it's very therapeutic.
Both, yeah.
We did, yeah, we got put through the ringer, in terms of learning piano.
I wonder if our teacher Eve is here.
Oh, I wonder.
Who helped us get through the
She is.
And it was certainly one of these movies where I just love spending time with these characters, and also because the characters love so much spending time with each other. And I just love to hear from Dustin and Leo about sort of developing the rapport they have in the movie, and that, what it was like to sort of have all that time driving around. I'm not sure if the car was moving, it might have been stationary. But I think it was probably moving, some of that day was moving through the city. There's some real driving.
I was driving.
Yeah, you were right, you were driving.
I wasn't driving, I was
But yeah, what was it like sort of getting to spend time together and sort of find, the kind of rhythms these characters have together?
Right. I mean, look, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to get to hang out with this man, let alone work with him. He's magic, he's kind of the reason why everyone's here tonight. Yeah, so for me it was just pure joy, and the most fun I've ever had acting, truthfully.
You can tell.
Thanks.
And to Dustin too, was it fun being here? This was a good time for you too?
It's always the same. You're nervous, and not when you're in the scene, but before and after. It's always strange. Did you do the right choices? Did you I think the thing that was overwhelming to me was seeing it, because I think it's such a wonderful piece of work.
That's so lovely. I mean, that spirit is it just shines through.
That's working with Dustin is this. The way he just made us all feel. Every single day he came in, he would show up early, he would bring snacks, he just wanted to hang out, he would call an ice cream truck, and I swear, when morale was low, it was a long day, everybody wanted to go home, I'd say, Dustin, do the Captain Hook voice. And without fail, Captain Hook would show up, everyone would be delighted we finished our day.
If only every job was like that. But yes, I want to make sure you have time for questions from the audience. Oh, someone right there. Go ahead. I'll repeat the question too.
Keep at it, Leo.
Yeah, keep that, Leo. And the question, oh, sorry, you have a question? Oh. Thanks to Dustin, too. Great. And the question to Daniel, those are the starting points for the film, and also if you knew someone like Nikki who has a similar condition or had researched this.
No, I didn't know anyone like Nikki. People say, write what you know. I don't listen to that advice. I say, write what you'd like to know more about. And so in this case, it was pianos and instruments. When I was just started dating my wife, she took me around to meet all of her friends, and her friend Michelle's husband, Peter, was a piano tuner. And we were hanging out. He took me to his I guess, studio, his craft, his workshop, and it was like filled with piano guts. And he started telling me about his work, and I think his normal experience of talking about his vocation. He says he's a piano tuner, the other person's eyes sort of glaze over, and they talk about something else. But I'm very interested in this, and I'm interested in this setting and all these instruments that are laying around. And within no time, this guy is telling me about atrophy and entropy and the forces of the universe that want to pull these instruments out of tune, and it's his job to restore order where there wants to be chaos. And I'm like, okay, this is not just a craftsman. This guy is you know, he's doing some serious work that is the bridge between the art and the engineering. And that meeting really inspired me, and I sort of walked away from it. I'm like, you know, it's a vocation that has not been fairly represented in cinema.
I'm very happy you filled that gap too. Other questions? Maybe wave if I can't see you very well. Oh, there you go. Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Hoffman, I'm sure you receive hundreds of scripts a day. What is this particular story that fascinated you and brought you to Toronto to film it?
Question to Dustin about what drew you to this script and why you came to Toronto for what compelled you about this script.
Well,
my wife was right. I should have worn my hearing aids. That was the one line that you should have said in the movie is, I hate these fucking things.
Oh, did we read the question? Yeah, the question was about like what sort of, when you read this script, why were you so drawn to it? You know, what was so compelling about this particular piece? Oh, yeah.
It was just a very unusual experience because I played piano all my life. I wanted to be a concert pianist early on, and then I wanted to be a jazz pianist, and then because I wasn't good enough, I quit. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just go to New York and study acting because you're supposed to be a failure if you're an actor. And so I really feel strongly about the spine of the movie, and that is that there is so much good work that's done that is not appreciated. And I've seen piano tuners all my life come and tune the piano that I grew up on. I still have it. And I saw them play, and I was always aware of what wonderful pianists they were, and many of them were too shy. I said, come on, go on, and they didn't want to. It's painful, whether they're conscious of it or not. It's painful to be that good and to be that ignored. It's kind of like being a good poet, you know. You can't make a living at it. And I think that's the heart of it. I don't understand how our director knew this stuff. I really think that you know, this man, this young lady, and the director, years from now, I'm 88 now, and I think when they get to be around my age, they'll say, Jesus, I didn't know I was that good then. Because you guys are really good, really good.
Oh, up there in the balcony, go ahead.
As a doc director and having experience there, I'm sure there's lots of things when you come to a narrative that's like challenging, shifting over, but are there parts that you feel like having just kind of chops and documentaries that you bring to that's different in a narrative way, or something that you might do better because you have that different skill set?
It's a great question about the influence of having made so many great dogs and kind of how that comes to bear in making a narrative film.
Well, storytelling is storytelling. So there's just the broad strokes of making a movie and telling a story that cross both modes. But you know, there's a lot of things in fiction filmmaking that you don't have in documentaries. I said in my intro, I never had to work with actors before. And on my first day my first shoot, to show up and Dustin Hoffman's standing there, and Jean Reno, who's not here today, is in the movie, and Tova, Velchun, a national treasure. Well, we're in Canada, but America, a national treasure. Leor, who's one of my all-time favorites. It was very... You know, it was obviously intimidating, I think, for Havana, Leo, and I, sort of, you know, I'm new at this. Havana and Leo have more experience on movie sets than I did, but everyone was incredibly patient with me. But I think the three of us really had to sort of huddle. And it didn't take too long before Mr. Hoffman became Dusty. You know, as you could tell, we really cultivated a real warmth and sort of familial feeling when we were making this movie, and I really hope that you see that when you're watching it.
Very much. We've got time for one more, so other questions out there. Sorry. Oh, there you go. Yes, thank you.
First of all, I want to say that I'm a very nice guy. Really, I see myself here, it's bad, but no. In real life, I'm very nice. No, I didn't, and I didn't cut his ear as well. It's just a movie. This is the magic of movies.
One thing that I just want to add, this is very important. Dustin Hoffman has won a lot of awards in his life, but he's never won the Toronto International People's Choice Award. And just before we walked on stage, he was telling me how meaningful it would be for him, Dustin Hoffman, if he won that award. So everybody, go home and cast your ballot. This really matters. It can help make sure our film gets seen. So thank you.
Yes. You heard it. You will obey. Thank you so much for everyone here.